Home to 5 straight SoCon tournament titles, Jim Foster and the Mocs return to the court this season, focused and determined.
We attacked them at the right time. When we move the ball and get it reversed, we're pretty talented, and we got some people that can take it to the basket.
You're watching Inside Chattanooga Basketball, hosted by head coach Jim Foster and the voice of the Mocs, Jim Reynolds. Inside Chattanooga Basketball is presented by Allegra, 24-hour relief from indoor and outdoor allergies. Coca-Cola, Chattanooga Coca-Cola Bottling Company, the world's first Coca-Cola bottler.
Welcome to Inside Chattanooga Basketball. I'm Jim Reynolds. Obviously a big week for the women's basketball team. Couple of victories going on the road and beating Western Carolina and UNC Greensboro. Big wins for the Mocs, and for head coach Jim Foster, obviously hitting a milestone. Wins number 901. He also was honored at Vanderbilt over the weekend because Vanderbilt was celebrating the 25th anniversary of their Final Four team of 1993, where Coach Foster was the head coach. And of course, Philadelphia native, big Eagles fan, he's still celebrating the Super Bowl win. All that and more, highlights of women's basketball when Inside Chattanooga Basketball returns in just a moment.
This segment of Inside Chattanooga Basketball has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, Chattanooga Coca-Cola Bottling Company, the world's first Coca-Cola bottler.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello basketball fans, and welcome once again to the Ramsey Center for tonight's Southern Conference matchup.
Welcome to the campus of Western Carolina University, where tonight it'll be the site of an old Southern Conference rivalry between the Western Carolina Catamounts and the Chattanooga Mocs. I'm Kyle Rush, along with my partner Sean Spitzer. And Sean, Chattanooga has had their way in this series as of late, looking for history tonight for their head coach Jim Foster, looking for win number 900. They've won 17 in a row, but this is a Catamounts team that feels like they were oh so close at Chattanooga earlier this year.
Yeah, Western Carolina, since starting that first half a little bit slow, have really picked it up, and Trey Bonner wants to lead the charge again.
Bonner crossover dribble, up, under, no. Got her own miss, put back up and in. Sheree Bonner, relentless that time, and the lead now just one. You mentioned not many fast break points other than a steal. How about a post player taking it coast to coast?
Well, in Western Carolina, still sitting on those 2 fouls for Timber Moats and Julia Brown. They're still sitting out on the bench. So right now, that's what Stephanie McCormick's got to deal with.
Bolden, this time she capitalizes on the open look from 3. It's been now over a quarter, going back to the second quarter, since the Catamounts have scored. Nice feed inside, the bank open for Whitaker. The lead, the largest it's been all night.
And she's the one that really sparked that run in the third quarter for Western Carolina.
Gilbert, how about that? A runner off the glass. She leads all scorers with 14, and she's carried Chattanooga. It seems when the Catamounts have made their runs, Kiana Gilbert has had an answer for the Mocs.
This game that maybe they were missing.
Lob inside, Whitaker. She's had a big night. It gets bigger. She's now has 13. Now the Catamounts want to push. Johnson, coast to coast. Hanger in the air. That counts.
And all of a sudden, everything's going down for Western Carolina. Unfortunately, Chattanooga's had an answer most of the times down.
Gilbert thumps into Brown. Bolden, the open triple. There's the answer again. It's all nylon. Coach Jim Foster wanted a timeout. He'll get it. Final 11 and a half seconds. Still valuable time here for Western Carolina. You never know when you might need a set like that toward the end of a ball game. Ruiz, no. Battled for, cleared away by Burns, and that will do it. It'll be Jim Foster's 900th win, and Chattanooga bounces back and will improve to 5-3 in Southern Conference play. That'll be the more important number to Jim Foster as he picks up win number 900 in his storied career.
All right, Coach, obviously number 900, only the 8th coach to do so. Congratulations on that. What are your thoughts here immediately after that game?
glad it's over. Too many people talking about it, too many people concerned about it. I've had a great run. I've had great coaches, great players, and it's been 4 places I've enjoyed it, so it's good stuff.
The first February Saturday of 2018 here in Greensboro features a battle for positioning in the Southern Conference and very likely SoCon tournament seeding on the line as the Chattanooga Mocs roll in to take on the UNCG Spartans.
That was a SoCon opener for both teams, Jason. That game kind of a nutshell of Chattanooga's season this year. They're getting balance from their 2 twin stars and playing very well defensively. This is a team, Jason, that only gives up 55 points a game. That's the best defense in the SoCon. But what maybe is equally impressive about that, when you look at Chattanooga, they commit fewer fouls than any team in the country. When you're playing that good a defense and not fouling people, you make it very difficult to be beat. Just remarkable.
And in fact, Chattanooga in a drought of much longer, nearly the final 5 minutes of that first period saw no scoring for the Mocs. All that changes with one shot from Ariana Gilbert. But
one of the ways that Chattanooga has gotten the lead that they've got is they've done a much better job on the glass.
takeaway out in front of everybody, Kiana Gilbert, and lays it in, make it a 17-3 run to begin the second period. Across the first 4 minutes of action, Chattanooga having taken command of the basketball game. Solomon behind the back for the Cairo native, and she's able to finish at the rim as well. Nadine Solomon right there, giving you a snapshot of her true skills from the top of the key, working her way inside, and the lead does shrink to 15. Another possession without points as UNCG stands up. Solomon off the glass. She's heating up, as are the Spartans. And suddenly it's 54-41, and Fleming Jim comes to life.
And you feel like UNCG has played good defense against them, and the Spartans have done some very nice things. It's just that UNCG has been able to spread it around and have been able to force a handful of turnovers.
A rainbow from three. Solomon.
Fair to say, you have to feel like this is one of Chattanooga's better performances of the year to come into a building like this against a hard-fought opponent. They played very, very tough in the first game at the Roundhouse, and I feel like this has been one of their better performances of the season.
It is in the hands of Kiana Gilbert, and that is fitting. She leads all scorers with 21 points en route to a 73-57 win for Chattanooga over UNCG. Well, we could talk about the team effort. We could talk about Jim Foster having been through all the battles and keeping his team in the right mindset coming into this environment. But all in all, you saw Chattanooga, as Chattanooga has been, very confident, very collected, and very effective here today.
Honoring all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. Every division, every sport, the Learfield Directors Cup. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook, find us online and on Twitter. The Learfield Directors Cup.
We didn't talk about it. We never came up in practice, because we knew that he didn't want to talk about it, and it wasn't something that needed to be talked about around the girls. So, and hopefully didn't put pressure on them because that's not why we're doing this. We're doing it to win, not just to get him his 900th, but ultimately just to win the ball game.
Well, I mean, like any other game, we already had planned, Coach Foster's 900 win, what we're gonna do.
Obviously, all the hype around it, leading up to it, wasn't necessarily going through him. It was going through me and Debbie and everybody trying to help get everything set up.
but we really wanted our girls to focus on the game. We went through, shoot around, talking through things, like everything was normal.
And the girls, for whatever reason, everything clicked.
They really wanted him to get it, and so I think they just went out and played extra hard for him. And
we all knew what was at stake, I guess, but in the same vein, we knew, by the time we saw the writing on the wall that the win was there. To understand 900 wins is like, it's almost surreal. You can't believe it happened. And I think that we all felt it.
After the game, that's when we celebrated. We could celebrate.
And then they were really excited after the fact to be able to douse him with the silly string.
Originally, what we were gonna do was get a cooler and put some confetti in it. But since it was a away game, it's kind of hard to do that.
And, he acts like it's just another game, but knowing him as well as I do, it's a milestone for anyone who could do that, and we're so proud of him.
I'm just happy for him.
Every win has been special just because I think it's because he doesn't make a big deal out of it.
Once again, just another game. Coach Foster's going to be the same, win, lose, or draw. That's what I love about him.
He needs 1,000 now. Keep going, Coach Foster.
Just take my hand and we'll be alright. Your darkest tell me why I'm on my way to Just take my hand and we'll be alright. Your darkest tell me why I'm on my way to
This segment of Inside Chattanooga Basketball has been brought to you by Allegra, 24-hour relief from indoor and outdoor allergies.
Welcome back to Inside Chattanooga Basketball, joined by head coach Jim Foster. And a nice week for the women. First of all, going on the road, claiming a couple of victories. Conference wins are never easy. Road conference wins sometimes are rare, aren't they?
Well, I thought we played very well in both games and much better than we had been. We put some things together. Key Gilbert did a great job, and Air Whitaker did a great job of picking up. We needed some scoring from the point position and the center position, and Key swinging over to the point, I think, helped us a lot. And Air playing slower and reading opportunities and taking advantage of them. And then the other three positions we've been getting productivity out of, and we continued to do the same. Whether it was the starters or people off the bench, we got productivity. So it was a good couple of games.
Kiana Gilbert, as you alluded to, the Southern Conference Player of the Week for her efforts. And you've also talked about freshmen taking that next step, and you can rely on them a little bit more.
Yeah, they've started to figure some stuff out, and we're just very adamant about not throwing them out there until they really understand what it is we want them to do, and to do at the approach it at the college level, not that. I think with some, it's a question mark when you put them in the game because even though they've started in the direction you would like them to, the least bit of pressure might send them back in another direction. And with others, you can tell that they've bought in wholeheartedly, and they understand the differences have made them a better player, and they do it on a daily basis. So when they get into the game, it's nothing new.
All right, I'd said before, it was a big week for Coach Foster. First of all, hitting the milestone that he doesn't like to talk about, 900 career wins, and then 901 the next night. Honored your team. Your 1993 team was honored in Nashville in the Vanderbilt, Tennessee game. You were the head coach of the Commodores in 1993, celebrating that 25-year anniversary. And then, of course, the thing you like to talk about, the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. So I said earlier, perfect storm. That's in anyone's book, that's a good week.
Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for the Eagles to win again for 52 years. That's a long, long wait. And the last time I cheered them on to victory, or wanted them anxiously listened to them on to victory, was with a 6-station transistor radio in my attic, because it was the only place I could get enough reception to listen to the game. So watching it on a television with surround sound and all the things that go with that game, it was delightful to watch, and I'm happy for the city, and it was a great day, and it was a great weekend. Enjoyed the trip to Vanderbilt, saw some old players, and they're all doing very well, which is nice to see, and it was just it was a nice, eventful weekend.
Enjoy it while you can, and congratulations. Mocs head coach Jim Foster. We'll see you and have more next time on Inside Chattanooga Basketball.
Inside Chattanooga Basketball has been brought to you by Allegra, 24-hour relief from indoor and outdoor allergies. Coca-Cola, Chattanooga Coca-Cola Bottling Company, the world's first Coca-Cola bottler.